All right. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Brenda. How are you?
I am good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks for joining me here in what I call our Project Green Studios. Just want to have a brief conversation with you today about an important deadline that's coming up surrounding child tax credit. And so, welcome to everyone who is joining us live and who may even watch this after it is recorded. If you don't know, my name is Dallas Lanier. I'm the executive director and founder of Project Green, the grassroots economic empowerment network. And our vision is turning everyday people into money heroes. So we're trying to speak directly to everyday people, make sure they know what they need to know about handling their finances in the best way possible. And then we want to make sure that they turn and help somebody else to make good decisions about theirs as well. But the other part of our work is doing advocacy. So making sure that the systems in which everyday people operate, whether it's banking or education or housing, that those pieces of those systems that impact their finances, um, that those systems are working well and on behalf of the individual and of the family. So we're constantly looking to remove barriers and to create consumer protections and all of those good things. But we don't do that work alone with Project Green. We do it in partnership with other organizations in our community and beyond. And one of those organizations is the Kent County Tax Credit Coalition, of which Brenda Brame is the fearless program manager. And so, if you just briefly introduce yourself, tell us what you do generally, and then we'll talk about why we're on here today.
Okay. Well, as Reverend Lanier said, I am Brenda Brame. I don't know how fearless at times, but I am Brenda Brame, the program manager for the Kent County Tax Credit Coalition at the heart of West Michigan United Way. In that capacity, I develop VITA sites, which are free tax preparation sites for anyone whose household income is $58,000 or less. And I recruit volunteers, have them IRS trained and certified. And then we prepare taxes and e-file them free for anyone in the community. Again, that household income being $58,000 or less. That's a family household or a single household. Over the last 18 and 19 years, we generated over $106 million for our community and served over 100,000 people, all absolutely free. We prepare the taxes free and we e file them free. And you may say, well, how do we get this service? I'm so glad you're asking. All you need to do is call 211 beginning the third week of January, and they will make an appointment for you at one of our 9 sites. So that's what I do.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. And yes, I do think you're fearless. Um, just want to reiterate that. But every time you share those numbers, it just blows my mind. $106 million in refunds and tax credits returned to our community for people to meet their own financial needs, and over 100,000 people served. That's just incredible. So thank you for doing what you do. Um,
Yeah.
and I want to make sure that we share with people an important deadline that's coming up around one of those credits. And many of us know that there was a change made that allowed a number of households across the country to receive an advanced child tax credit this year. So what that means is, if you qualified for this tax credit, um, normally you would receive it with your when you file your taxes in 2022.
Correct.
But this advance allowed families to receive half of that tax credit during this year in monthly payments beginning in July. Am I correct about that?
That's correct. In July.
So July through December,
Hmm.
uh,
Yes.
families were receiving half of those payments. But
Yes.
there are some. Anything you want to add on that before I keep
I,
going?
no, you have it.
Okay.
You're hitting that nail on the head. That's
Okay.
correct.
All right. Awesome. But what we also discovered is that there are some families who do qualify, but they have not been receiving their child tax credit. And so there's a deadline coming up this coming Monday, November 15th,
Yes.
where families need to go in and file a simplified return, and they can still get those payments in December.
Correct. I would recommend that they do that immediately, because what you don't want to do is wait till the 15th to do it. And then there's a backlog. And then you're going to say, Brenda, Reverend Lanier, you told me to do it, but I didn't get my refund. That's because sometimes we have life happens and we don't take the time to do things that we need to do. So my thing is, if you want extra funding for Christmas, your SERA money isn't coming through as you thought it was going to come through. It's getting cold outdoors. You need to pay that heat bill that may be a little past due. Go on and to this website that Reverend Lanier is going to share with you, and prepare that simplified form so that you can get that refund.
Absolutely. So speaking of sharing, if you're watching now, would you share this video with others so that they can watch it as well and get this information? So the website that you referred to now appears on the screen. It is GetCTC, as in getchildtaxcredit.org. So again, that's getCTC.org. And
Yes.
who should go there?
Anyone who has a child, and I'm going to really be honest with you. Anyone who has a child 16, who was 16 last year, should go on and file that simplified form. I'm telling you, anyone with a child that was 16 or under last year should file that form. If they were 17 in October of last year, don't put them on the form, because you're not going to get anything for them. If they were 16 last year, turned 17 the latter part of this year, then yeah, I would go ahead on and put them on that form and try to get it.
And that also includes families who may not have had income this year. Is that correct?
That is correct. You may not have had an income. You may have disability or Social Security or something like that. But you have children in your household that you are responsible for. You need to get all of your statements. I don't care what kind of wage you're getting. Social Security, disability, a 1099. If it was unemployment benefits, get that statement out. Get the Social Security cards out, because you want to put in the correct Social Security number on that form. Make sure that you have your bank deposit number so that you can put in exactly what's on there. And I'm saying make sure, and having you to pull the specific documents, because I don't want there to be a delay in your refund next month. That's why I'm saying pull all that information together and then do it.
And do it now.
Yes.
Who do not have income. What I should have said is earned income.
Yes.
Right? So, because if you have earned income, then in most cases, you have to file your tax return. But if
Correct.
you have other sources of income, as you've just named, normally you would not file a tax return. But we're saying that you do want to file this simplified return so that you can qualify and receive this child tax credit. So I want to just bring up this website on the screen so that others can see it.
Okay.
And remove a little bit of the mystery surrounding it, if there is any. So this is what the website looks like. If you go to that getctc.org, it'll bring up this page. And you see at the top, it says file today to claim your advanced child tax credit and missed stimulus payments. It says if you miss this deadline, you will need to claim your full child tax credit when you file your taxes in early 2022.
Correct.
So again, you can still get the full credit, but if you want to get a portion of it this year, you need to do this now. If you
Correct.
miss this deadline, you'll get it next year when you file your return.
Exactly.
But when you come to this website, it says here, file your simplified return now. If you click on that, it'll tell you here are the items that you need to. It says this is the right tool for you if you have a valid social security number or ITIN.
I-10, yes.
If you earn less than $12,400 if you're single, or $24,800 if you're married. Excuse me. It's the right tool if you have not filed a return this year, and also if you didn't receive the full amount of stimulus that you were owed.
Yes.
So then you click continue. It asks you a question of eligibility once again. It says, did you earn over these dollar amounts? And then if I say no, then I get to continue on to this simplified return.
Correct.
So I would click that and it would ask me, did I file a tax return? If I say no, did you file a 2019 tax return?
You're going to say no. Nope, I did not.
No, I didn't in this case. Where was your main home? I'm going to say any of the 50 states. Can anyone claim you as a dependent?
No.
And then this is where you begin to enter your personal information. So
correct. And the reason we were saying no is because you didn't have an earned income.
That's
you
right.
You didn't have an earned income. So then you start this form and you fill it out.
Absolutely. Well, Ms. Brenda, you were telling me too about some of the frequently asked questions that people may have about this. If I bring that up on the screen, maybe you can highlight a couple of these for us.
Okay. Well, we talked about the eligibility. Let's go to number 2. Let's see what that question is.
Number 2 says, what if I get government benefits? Will these payments count against eligibility?
The answer is no. It does not count against any of your government or your federally funded benefit programs like SNAP, your TANF dollars, your Medicaid. It doesn't even count against your housing vouchers for Section 8. And that's a biggie. Some people will not file because they think it's going to count against that. No, it will not. So go on and file. File that paperwork this week. And does it count as income? No, it does not count as income. So you don't need to put it on your return next year. Let's say you say, okay, I don't have a job, so I never file a tax return, but I want to get the home heating credit. So I'm going to go to one of the VITA sites and put that down. Well, they may ask you if you receive the child tax credit or your stimulus, but if you say yes, it still isn't counting as income. So don't worry about that. Yeah, you do need a social security number or I-10. That you do need, because they need to know who they're giving the money to. What if you owe child support? Does it get you in trouble for owing child support? They will not take your money and pay that arrears. It does not offset your past due child support debt. However, if you owe Macy's or JCPenney's and they're talking about garnishing your check, they may attach that refund. But excellent. It doesn't. What you say, Reverend Lanier?
I just said that's excellent, just to be able to tell people that, you know, it won't hurt you if in terms of qualifying for these other benefits. It also won't affect your child support or back taxes, those other items. So I wanted to make sure that people see the website where these FAQs are. It's
that's good.
Outreach.org. And so we just wanted to highlight a few of those, but people can read the rest of those questions as well.
Right.
Is there anything else that you think people should know about this, Ms. Brenda?
The biggest thing is go on, pull your paperwork together, file that simplified form, tongue twister. File that simplified form. I don't care if it's 11 o'clock at night when everyone else goes to bed and you have time to really process what you're doing. File that return at that time. There isn't a 8 to 5 or a 9 to 5 on the website. It's just you got to do it by November 15th in order to get the refund in December. Because what they do is they make those deposits the 15th of every month. If you don't get it in December, you will have to wait until 2022 once tax season begins again. And at that point, you're going to call 211 so we can take care of it free for you.
There you go. So we're going to make sure people get it one way or the other.
Yes, we will.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you again. Your work is so valuable, and I appreciate you coming in here. Let me just give people who may be watching live a quick minute. If anybody has any questions that I didn't think of, you can put it in the comments, and on whatever platform you're watching, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or maybe even YouTube. And then we will try to address those questions. So not seeing any come up right now, but also just want to let people know that Project Green has a couple of workshops coming up, and we want to make sure that you don't miss those. One is actually this coming Saturday. I'm going to bring that up on the screen too. This is right from our Facebook page. We have our Money Talk workshop. It's online or in person. This is some of the basics that people need to know of managing your money, from budgeting to saving on expenses to preparing for emergencies in the short term, and as well as investments for the long term. So we ask you to register. You can attend in person or online. It's from 9:30 to 3, but we provide you with a continental breakfast and a full lunch. There's a $10 refundable deposit. So once you attend, we will refund those dollars to you. So you can get registered. Yes.
That's great. May I recommend that people really, really do this? Project Green has some good tools. They have really good tidbits and various programming to offer. You really don't know the depth of their programming until you attend one of their workshops. They have a lot to offer to the community, a lot that will benefit you and or your family. And then sometimes it's good to attend these workshops so that you can share the wealth. I may not have money to give, but I have some information to give. So I'm going to connect you to what's going to help you now and in the future.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. So good. Bobby is on our team. She was adding the link to the comments just as I was doing the same. So thank you for doing that, Bobby. And so we'd love to get people registered, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday. And again, thank you, Miss Brenda. Was there something else that we were supposed to share?
I think that's it, unless somebody want to volunteer now. I can't miss the volunteer opportunity.
That's right. Yeah, please.
Yes, I am in the process of recruiting volunteers for the Kent County Tax Credit Coalition. If you've always said, I just really want to know how to prepare taxes and give back to the community at the same time, we can make sure that happens for you. We will teach you a skill, which is an IRS certified skill. You will be able to prepare taxes free for the community, at least for 3 to 4 hours a week. That's all we ask of you, is that you volunteer 3 to 4 hours each week for 10 weeks, and the rest of the time, that skill is yours. It is a skill learned that we will give to you free. It is easy to volunteer. Just call 211 and tell them you want to. I'm under 211, you all, so everything always comes out of my mouth is 211. Call 211, let them know you want to volunteer with the tax program. They will put you in touch with me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I just put that up on the screen. It's a great resource. So we want to make sure that people do get a chance to volunteer. as we approach this upcoming tax season. All right, thanks again, Ms. Brenda, for joining us.
Thank
We,
you.
we were waiting to see if anybody had any questions. I don't see any. So with that, we will conclude, and I pray that you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
All right.
Bye bye, everyone.